something you mentioned earlier on too about lactic acid and rosacea.
Yes.
And so with rosacea, a lot of people a lot of people with rosacea are on something like azelaic acid.
Yes.
So with using an azelaic acid, whether prescription or just over the counter,
Yes.
would you then also put them on an alpha hydroxy acid?
You know,
and which one?
You know what's interesting to me is, number one, it depends on your formula. Okay, so let's there are formulas and there are formulas. And some AHAs are super duper stripping, and I would never use them even if they were 10%. Okay?
Right.
There are other formulas, that are designed to not irritate the outer layer but get underneath and do what it's supposed to do underneath. Now, I love lactic acid, and I use lactic acid on people that have rosacea and on people that have sensitivity, because my formula is not going to irritate the surface of the skin.
Right.
So your formulas are really important, but lactic acid, absolutely. I mean, you know, they strengthen. I mean, AHAs strengthen the network. When you've got your collagen fibers like this, AHAs make it tight like this, you know. And it's like your retinols. When you're using the perfect product for your skin, and if you're layering, you're not cleansing with a foaming cleanser, and you're layering your products, and you're using your serums, and you've got a hydrated skin, and you're using your retinols, your skin is extraordinary. You know, it's firm, it's great, it's not too sensitive, it's like you can put makeup on, it looks fabulous. But lactic acid, you can use it on any skin type. You know, it's about the formula.
Right.
And even a higher AHA, you know, even in a higher percentage of lactic acid, it's about the formula and what's going to stay on the surface. And some of them are very irritating and on the surface and don't get down to the lower layers, and others are designed to really work on the lower layers and less irritation on the surface. And of course, that's what we want.
Yeah, exactly.
We want products that are going to get in and not just sit on the surface. So it's yes, no, lactic acid is great, and I love AHAs. I can't tell you how much I love AHAs. I mean, you know, this is what my work. I did a lady recently on a video, and a mature lady, never used much product on her face, and she's sort of in her late 60s, but just no retinols, just using AHAs on her skin, and her skin looks extraordinary. I mean, her wrinkles have lessened, her skin is tighter, and that's without retinols.
Right.
Okay, so it doesn't take much to change somebody's skin when they're doing it the way they should be doing it, and not using 10,000 different products. I mean, I get lists of people.
I know. They
send me lists of products. Nerida, I'm using this. I mean, all these brands, and it's 20 or more products, and I'm just like, what the heck? It's just way too much. And it's too many different things.
Absolutely.
You can't do that. You know, you've got to, I mean, it shouldn't be complicated. It should be simple. It doesn't have to be complicated.
Never.
It's just AHAs, you know, do you want to get rid of wrinkles? Well, this is what you need for wrinkles. Do you want to, you know, is your skin surface dry? Well, this is what you can't do, and this is what you have to do when your skin's surface dry. Most of the time, people don't really even need to exfoliate when their skin is really good. You know, they don't need to be doing it all the time like they're doing it, and they're over exfoliating, and then that just creates a whole whirlwind of products, so of issues.
Of issues, yeah. Absolutely.
So there's, you know, it's not that complicated.
I completely
And 20
agree.
products to me is very complicated. It's just
Extremely.
like, you have to be kidding me.
And it's stressful.
It wouldn't even fit on my
yeah,
wouldn't even fit on my counter.
But a really good point about formula. If you have not found, you know, and always, if you are able to find an esthetician that will work with you, that's better. You know, to have somebody look at your skin in person.
Absolutely.
You know, that is the most
Absolutely.
important. But to find a formula that works for your skin, and what somebody might recommend online might work excellent for them, but it might not work the same for you. And so a lot of people I find sort of banish acids or banish retinols because they haven't found, but there's the right formula. There's so many different formulas, to her point. And again, some are doing things that they, like she said, she wouldn't even use on her own skin, you know, that are just going to create irritation on the surface, and others that are getting under and getting in there and really doing the job. And mentioning retinols with that, so how would you, and I know it's going to be different again, it would be a blanket statement, but how would you incorporate acids and retinols into a routine?
I love both of these ingredients. I can't even tell. I get so excited talking about it. Can you tell I like?
I love it. I love it.
I love what it does to the skin, because it changes the skin so much. You know, it's like as an Esty, we're always trying to change the skin and make the skin better. And when you work with AHAs and retinols, I mean, look, I get emotional about it because it's so exciting to me,
absolutely.
you know, really, because we can change people's skin, you know, and that's just so extraordinary. So, you know, I use retinols every night. I use AHAs every day. If I could say to everybody, all of you, stop using foaming cleanser. I don't care where you live. Stop using foaming cleanser. And then if I could say to all of you, stop using a scrub. Don't use any exfoliant on your skin. Just stop it right now. Then let's start with a retinol and an AHA. Then let's start like this and give you your serums to layer. Put your serums on underneath your products, and that's it. Like, your skin will be better. You know, like, just stop the foaming, stop the scrubbing and the strong exfoliations, and layer, and just start using product. You know, start using your AHAs, and you know, if you want to wean into your retinols 2 nights a week, then do that. But there's nothing wrong with using, you know, alternating at night and using an AHA at night one night, and even if you're using it in the daytime and then using a retinol another night. Like, it's okay to alternate and do different things with it. But you know, put your layers on, put your hydrating stuff on, get your skin, don't let your skin be dry.
I think
a
that's
big problem.
Very important, the layer. And again, whether it's protecting after the treatment, buffering before the treatment, however it is, that's a very important point,
layering.
Especially, I mean, all the time, but especially as people are starting out, I feel like it's more important than when the skin is sort of like just baby stepping into it for the first time, to really make sure it's protected and does have a good...
Because as soon as you start to layer their skin and hydrate their skin is better anyway.
Right.
You know, it's like, I know from this lady I did the other day that had a ton of pimples under her face. I know that just by hydrating her skin, and I've given her very basic products for home care, I know her skin's going to be so much better, and she's not going to have the pimples when she comes back. And I've given her nothing for acne. You know what I mean? It's like, we have to hydrate the skin first. We've got to hydrate it with just the serums are good, like hydrating serums. You know, that's what, it really helps the skin. So hydration is so important on anybody's skin. You know, it doesn't matter if you're oily or dry. You've got to keep your skin hydrated.
I agree, always.
Always.
So, question for you about using acids and retinols in the same routine. So, you know, like together in the PM. Are you for it? Are you against it? Is it a case-by-case basis?
It depends on your products. Because there are some products that have AHAs and retinols in it, and it works great. But it really does depend on the product, because sometimes there are products that I would never use. If I'm going to use a retinol, I'm only going to use a retinol. And or an AHA. I'm not going to mix the two in the one evening. But sometimes products are made where it works better like that. It works, you know, better for the two to be combined. So it does depend on your formula. In treatment, when I'm doing a facial, you know, very often I'm working with a retinol and working it into the skin. Then I take it off, and then I'm going to do an AHA on the skin, because, you know, again, everything has a purpose. So even, you know, your products that you use at home, everything that you put on your face, it has a purpose. I mean, you can't just get things because it says, oh, it's for wrinkles, or it's for dry skin, and you think you have wrinkles and, you know, dry skin. I mean, everything has a purpose, and that's why it's wonderful if you can see an esthetician and they can recommend certain products for you to use at home. It's important to understand the different steps, but I think, you know, to answer your question, it does depend on your formulas.
Yeah, I agree. I would say the same thing. Because
there are some that clearly have retinol and AHA together, combined, and there are some that don't. And you know, different philosophies. The product that I'm working with right now, I try to keep them a little bit more separate, but I have worked with and even developed products where they are combined. So I know that it can be done, and I know that it's successfully done. So, yeah.
No, I mean, I knew what her answer was going to be, and I agree too.
Yeah.
I tend to err on the side of, in terms of certain actives, whether it's in this case specifically acids and retinols, I go more to the side of, I always say, let one of those active ingredients be the star in your nighttime regimen or your daytime regimen.
Yes.
And yes, you're layering and supporting with your hydrating ingredients or your, certain extracts or soothing ingredients or flavonoids, etc. But in terms of the acid or retinol, let one of them be the star.
Yeah, I think that's smart. I think that's a smart, philosophy. I think that's, definitely, because they are very different, and even just knowing how they work on the skin, I would like to see them separated, which is what I prefer to do and do myself. But no, absolutely, they both are stars in our work. Yeah.
They really are. They really are.
Yeah.
And what's crazy too is, and it's in all of your Ask Nerida Joy videos, well not all, but anybody that you start massaging, the more professional retinol treatments on.
Yes.
You can really start to see a difference after one treatment.
Don't you? And they're so short. My videos are really very short. I'm not massaging the skin for that long in a video.
Right.
But at the end of the video, you say, "Oh my God, look at your skin so much better." I mean, they're life changing. I mean, we are so. I mean, I'm so grateful to have tools to be able to work with. I love AHAs and I love retinols, and I'm not as much inspired by other newer ingredients that are coming out that are more, everyone's always got to come up with a gimmick, something a little different.
Of course.
But it's, it doesn't, some of them are very problematic for people that have a lot of inflammation. And I'm finding more and more with clients that there's more inflammation. People have more inflammation in their body.
Oh, yeah, that's certainly.
Yeah, so it's, there's certain things, that you can't, that are too stimulating for people that have inflammation. And I think the retinols and AHAs are they're just great.
It's actually a great point. Like you said, everybody's sort of trying to come up with a gimmick, and not to bash that or downplay that, but really the most exciting thing for me as somebody who's formulated product to somebody who's formulated product and esthetician to esthetician is just a really good formula. Nothing that's changing the world, nothing that's a gimmick, nothing that's trying to push trend or push, but just a really great formulated product that can take time or that can take work and take some knowledge that goes into it on both sides with the chemist and with the esthetician.
Yeah.
That to me is great, art and work, and that is groundbreaking. Yeah,
it is. It's, there's a lot of new things coming out, and I'm always sent a lot of product to try. And as soon as I put it on my hand, I can tell just by touching it. It's just like, oh no, this is going to be a problem for this type of skin.
Yeah.
And it's, there's some great products out there, and my gosh, there are so many. But it's, of course we can't, try everything and use everything.
And also, not everything's for everybody.
No, that's right.
Just because there's a brand you like, even including my brand, if somebody's an oily skin, like a true oily skin, and we come out with a more rich cleanser, probably not going to be for them. And that's okay. But just, that's something too, I think people get attached to certain products or brands and they feel the need to try everything. But if your routine and your regimen and you're with an esthetician and it's working for you, keep on it. Keep, of course, improving with what your esthetician's telling you. But there's no need to then we start the list again of the 20 products, and it just creates a cycle.
It's so confusing for people because oil cleansers might be the in thing, and all of a sudden they're trying to bring it into their regimen, and sometimes it's there's a lot of products out there that really are not developed by people that work with their hands either.
Right, exactly.
There's a lot of products out there that are not great for the skin. They might look great and they might feel and smell great, but they're not great for the skin. So, in amongst all the ones that are fabulous, there's a lot that are not.
Right.
And they're not developed by people that work with their hands. Like you develop stuff because, and you work with your hands. And
exactly.
I mean, how smart is, if I was, as a consumer, looking to purchase products, I want to go to people that work with their hands.
I agree.
Like you've worked with your hands, you know what works, and that's what's so great, because a lot of chemists, Jordan, they haven't worked with their hands. They weren't doing facials like you.
And that's why I think it's a great blend to really have to find a great chemist and a good esthetician, a great esthetician.
No,
I wasn't gonna pat myself on the back with a
great
esthetician, but thank you.
No, because I know that, number one, I was, you guys may not know this, but I will tell you, I am I've traveled around this country teaching and working with estheticians. And when I first met Jordan, I was so impressed by you. I really was. Because you, number one, you get it. Number two, you care. And number three, like you really want to help people.
Yeah.
Yes. Jordan, this is not what a lot of people want to do that are developing products. So, I get emotional. I'm very sensitive.
She's making me get emotional.
I'm so sorry. But this is really important for people to understand that, it's like, you wanted to learn.
Yep.
You came to see me to learn. I have people fly from the UK and Canada and Hawaii that want to come and just work with me for 2 days. And I am so impressed by these people. Because you know what? They really want to help other people.
Right.
And you get it. You're someone who's worked with your hands. You're someone who, you care about people. And there are not that many out there. I could, of traveling around America, I could count on no more than both hands, the amount of estheticians I would let touch my face. But I'm here to make a difference. And that's why I do my videos. Because I want to help people understand as much as I possibly can. Give them as much information as I can. And I was so impressed with you. And that's why I give you my time, my love, whatever I can give you. Because you are truly extraordinary in what you're doing. And such a, it's so wonderful. I mean, you guys need to know this. I'm speaking for really, because you get it. And very few do.
Oh God, how am I supposed to say something after that?
It's true.
Thank you.
It's true. It's so true.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
But I do, I'm as passionate as you are. Speaking about it too, and I really am. I think somebody that works with their hands paired with a great chemist is magic. Again, that's what creates those formulas. That's what's groundbreaking. It's just a really great formula done by a pair of people who are, I would never, as much as I would love to get in the kitchen and make up a product, that's not going to be stellar. I need the help of the chemist, but then I also feel like they need the help of us.
Absolutely, and that's why, the chemist that I worked with for a long time too, he reached out to different estheticians to help him develop things, way back. And that's, again, why I went and met him, and I'm just like, you are very rare too. There's very few people like you, and a few out there, but it's just, it's really wonderful. And I don't care what a chemist, if you don't work with your hands, you don't understand, because everybody is different. Every physical body is different. So you can be an adult that has adult acne, but your acne is different. And that's what's so great, is when you work with your hands, we get to see all of this, and we get to know, wow, this person here, they need to do this. It's different from that person over there. And that's why I think it's because you have that experience. Every physical body's different. And, we have to come up with new routines, new things. So to be able to come up with a line that is, simple but sophisticated, and still be able to work with the mass market is fantastic. You don't need 1,000 products, seriously. It's just, and you see me in my videos using the same things. Retinols, I'm using my flavonoids to help the skin, nourish it and help blood vessels, because so many people are sensitive. And so I'm doing the same things, and everyone's skin is different. But what I'm getting is results. And that's what you get. We get results because we know we don't need a bunch of products, Jordan.
Right, exactly.
We need simple, true products that make a difference with your skin. But that's it. It's not that complicated. So
if there's anything that any of you all take away from this video, it is that, because I feel this, I do feel like people have overcomplicated it for whatever reason, whether it's excitement in terms of playing with products, but I really think, yes. And I know that is, you're saying from a while ago when I first met you, but simple but sophisticated. That is simple but sophisticated. The right ingredients, great formulas, but then the process, it doesn't need to be 20 steps.
No,
it never does.
Complicated.
It never does.
Not complicated at all.
And also I think too, don't confuse don't confuse what people might see or hear us doing in a video or
Yeah.
during a treatment
Yeah.
with home care either.
Yes, that's right.
You know, because there are going to be things that we do
Yes,
during the
yes.
treatment that,
Yes.
you know, we don't necessarily recommend that for home care,
No,
you know, in terms of,
that's right.
or
Yes.
because whether it's a professional product or a
Yes.
mask or a
Yes.
paraffin mask or, you know, like,
Yes, yes.
you don't have to do all of
messy.
that. That's, yes.
You can't do
it's,
this.
it's messy, but it's right. It's part of the treatment.
It's
the treatment
part of the
process. So
treatment,
that
yeah.
is going to look a little bit different than an at-home care regimen that we prescribe you.
Yeah.
Okay, so lastly, I would love to ask your thoughts on, have you found skin types, and again, this is going to be another blanket statement, but acids or retinols, are there certain skin types that do better with just retinols or better with just acids?
Absolutely. You know what, I have to say, African American skin, I will always go retinol and not AHAs. I will always go retinol before AHAs. Sometimes I will have them on both, but rarely. I will, 9 out of 10, an African American skin does really, really well on retinols. And I'm never talking prescription strength,
Right.
so people don't misunderstand me. It just works.
Yeah.
It just works really great. AHAs, for some reason, and even AHAs are just, they're tricky. When they're great, but
Yeah,
sometimes
exactly.
they're not so great. So on my skin, for instance, I will, I started with AHAs and then I weaned into retinols. And just because of my age, I need as much lifting and cardio as I could get. But so I'm going to do everything I possibly can to, keep it up there. But it's, again, with Asian skin, it's a little tricky. And Asian skin in general is a very, very sensitive skin that requires, to my understanding, always to be constantly changing. So, if I had to generalize it, I would say safest route for a Caucasian skin is going to be an AHA, always. Safest route for an Asian skin is I need both of them. And you know what, I'm going to have them on both and get back, because that's what's going to elevate their skin to be better. I can't have them too long on one. It's the one skin type I have to constantly be changing. African American skin, retinols, for sure. And sometimes AHA, but retinols, exceptional. Yeah.
Very interesting.
I mean, it's very
Of
blanket.
course.
But generally I know sometimes if I'm a little confused, I'm going to go on that bracket.
No, I think it's very interesting and very
Yeah.
true. And but again, we said blanket statement because I
Yeah.
get comments that are like, "No, you said." I'm like, "We said blanket
Yeah.
statement."
Yeah.
That's the.
Well, I've had someone say to me, "The skin doesn't have lungs, it doesn't breathe." I was like, "Oh Lord, please help me here." It's, yes, I mean, please, understand my language.
Well, I'm saying. That's how I say it too. I'm like, yes, I understand the skin doesn't breathe, but if it's absorbing product and then it's expelling, impurities and
yes, it's,
that's a similar
Yes.
case of inhale, exhale.
yes, that's right.
So yes, but right, exactly. Blanket statements, but excellent information. And Nerida, I can't thank you enough. Thank you for making me cry. but seriously, thank you for being. I mean, like I said, your YouTube channel I watch at midnight in bed on my phone, like picking up everything. I'll watch it the next day. I'll rewatch them. The videos you've done here have been my most watched videos. People love you. People want to learn. And hopefully this can help people just sort of drown out the noise and get a little bit back to what is important, especially with acids and retinols. But,
Well, I mean, the great thing about what we do, and you do the same thing, is that, we're here to help people and help people understand skin that can be so complicated because we have so many products on the market. There is so much going on. There's so much, mental, emotional, physical change within our bodies as we age, and things are just really confusing for people. So we're here to help you. And that's, I always answer any questions on my YouTube channel. I get overwhelmed with the direct messages, don't always get to that department. But my YouTube channel, it's really important to me, and I stay up to all hours and I will answer your questions. And I know you're great about answering questions too. It's just, we're here to help. And I mean, that's what we do. You know,
No,
you're
it's
the
very
same.
important.
You're the same. We're good people.
Well, thank you, Nerida, and thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed these videos, and if you haven't, which if you're here, you have, but go to Ask Nerida Joy's YouTube channel. You guys, you're in for a treat. But thank you so much, Nerida.
That's so great to be here. Thank you all. Yes, thank you for watching, and
have a good day.
Yay.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.